Okay, thank you all for joining us. So today my topic is more of functional. So I can see that few people are there who is more a functional consultant. So there was not a boring things. It was good, but for a functional people, sometimes it's become boring. Okay. So landed cost. This was one of the modules which was launched by Microsoft recently. So I will be just going very high level overview of this landed cost module so that you can understand what exactly it is. Okay, so my little bit of speaker introduction. So I work as a team lead practice for Microsoft in DXC. Okay, previously worked with PwC, KPMG, and Visionet. Explored various markets in Pakistan, Germany, US, Australia, and Malta. I have done some implementations in manufacturing, retail, service industries. Founding member and volunteer for D360 communities. And then I'm also a certified chartered accountant. So that's people think why the chartered accountants are here in the IT field, but that's not the case now. Okay, so my agenda is why landed cost module. Okay, so there is a question I would be asking from you guys why landed cost module was there. Why? What was the reason? Can anybody answer that one?
Microsoft Dynamics was missing this functionality.
Yep.
We want the inventory cost to have all the costs embedded on a product level. You would have a direct purchase cost, but all the landed costs like freight and the marriage cost and things like that were not, getting into the item cost, and that's why you would want to have landed cost.
That's a perfect answer. Thanks, sir, for that. Let me just try with that one. What happened? Let me just move it to a present mode again. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it, I think, data connectivity? Sorry for that.
Microsoft needs to invest in 5G.
Yeah. Okay, so just coming back to why landed cost. Previously, user cannot book the invoice before product is it. It was one of the things that what you have to do, you have to create a purchase order, you have to book a product receipt, and then you can book an invoice. Now what you can do, create a purchase order, create a shipment, and directly book an invoice, vendor invoice as well. So this is what the major reason, okay, because it depends on your risk and rewards. When your risk and rewards are getting transferred from vendor to your plate, okay. The second was that there was no concept of good in transit. Okay, so we have a functionality which has been covered by landed cost, which is good in transit. No actual charges, estimated charges were recorded on product level, which Asad was talking about. The third thing is no shipment tracking was available. So now we have a good shipment tracking as well. No option was available to record lead times or different journey legs. Okay, so what do you mean by journey legs? It's basically that when somebody from let's build a scenario. I'm importing the things from China. Okay, so there would be a person who would be doing something for my company. Let's say a third-party vendor. Okay, he will be collecting the things from China from the vendor premises and taking it to the seaport. Okay, so these are the journey legs which we have different journey legs like customs, like in sale, that when your shipment will be in the sale and it will be coming to Melbourne, let's say. So what would be the lead times for that journey? Okay, the next is over under shipment. Sometimes what happens that it's basically when we are importing the goods, it's quite a long period of time. So what was imported at that time, let's say 100 quantity, but when we receive it, it was not 100, or it might be 98, or it might be damaged. Okay, so these are some scenario which was a practical scenario which Microsoft has built in their product. Okay. Next is those are the answers that what landed cost module is doing, helping business to streamline inbound shipping operations. Okay, giving user complete financial and logistical control over, providing accurate and timely cost estimate for overhead landed cost. So we have some finance consultant as well. This was the point that mostly clients come to them and ask them that what is basically the cost has been charged to the product or not. The fourth thing is reducing the administration of costing to costing errors. Now, what happened that previously we have to receive the product, we have to invoice it, and we have to run the recalculation runs multiple times to get the accurate cost. Okay, now what is happening? The system is doing these all functions automatically. The last thing was giving complete shipment tracking based on journey legs, because that was really important, because right now in the COVID period, it was taking so much longer time. And we need to estimate that what is the journey where or a journey leg, which was actually taking a time. Okay. So for some technical friends, I have that what is the landed cost? Actually, landed cost is per unit cost. Okay, plus freight cost plus duty charges or any additional charges is equal to landed cost. Okay, so that is our landed cost. Okay, so this is basically what you do in the landed cost module. You create a purchase order, you create an inbound shipment. Then once you do the inbound shipment and then do the invoice, it will be coming in the good in transit with some estimated value. Okay, then you have an inventory tracking, then you receive goods, receive invoices, and update inventory valuation. Basically, I have prepared a chart where you can see that there are three functions, or I can say that there are three areas which is consists of this landed cost module. First is procurement, who will be creating a purchase order. Okay, then there are few people who are the responsibles of the shipment. Okay, or he might be the supply chain in the small companies, or he might be the same person who is creating a purchase order. Okay, so like after that creating a purchase order, what you will be doing, you will be creating voyage and the shipment is the same thing. Okay, after that you will be selecting the purchase order lines and adding into a shipment. It might be possible that into a single shipment, many of the purchase order goods will be coming. It might be possible that it would be only one purchase order. Okay, so then what you will be doing, you will be doing the containers. So we have a big ship. Inside the big ship, there might be 20 feet, 40 feet, different type of containers as well. Okay, so you have seen the picture where a big ship is there and we have small container. So as a person, as a company owner, or I need to, as a supply chain user, I have to look after that thing, that what is in specific containers. Okay, so then we will be having those tracking legs, good in transit one. And what will happen? This is our AP team. What AP team is doing? Basically, they will be booking the third-party vendor invoices. Okay, so if I move forward, so these are a few basic configurations which we have to do for the landed cost module. Okay, so there are some logistical setups. There are some costing setups. So one part is of costing, which is more related to finance people. The other part is more of the supply chain people. Okay, like voice setup, shipping container, journey templates, legs, tracking control center, shipping ports, activities. Okay. I will not go through a system, okay, because the problem is that we have a limitation of time, but I have tried to just copy some screenshots, which will help. At least after leaving this building, you would know that what landed cost is. Okay, at least you could talk about with the clients. Okay, so we start landed cost module with the purchase order. So you create a purchase order, let's say, and in that one, we are thinking that we are importing the goods from China to, let's say, Melbourne. Okay. So you create a purchase order. After creating a purchase order, what will happen? Your third-party vendor who is in China, or who is in China, and they are saying that now your goods are ready to ship. Once the goods are ready to ship, then what you can do, you can create a shipment. Okay. The next step is to create a shipment. So this is the screenshot where you will be creating a shipment. So you can see that I'm just creating a shipment. I'm putting some details that this is Ocean Star FCL. Booking reference is this. Vessel number is this. Mode of delivery is this. Journey template is this. It's from Melbourne to China to Melbourne. Okay. Now you can see that the journey template section defines the good in transit legs and activities can be tracked from that one. Okay. The next thing is that what you are doing in this screen, you are basically creating a shipment and adding your purchase order lines into a shipment, into a specific container. So this is the screen where you are just creating your shipping container. It might be possible, there might be a single shipment with multiple containers. Okay, and in multiple container, there might be multiple purchase orders. Okay. The next is landed cost inquiry. Here I will be just taking 3 to 4 minutes. What is that? Okay, the concept of landed cost is that eventually what happens that previously we were not able to create a product, create an invoice before a product is shipped. Okay, so what we usually do, we create a purchase order, create a product receipt, and then do the invoicing. everybody knows there is a concept of physical and financial values. Okay, so what system is doing now? Okay, system is basically estimating the cost. So this is the process where what you can do, you can create a purchase order, create a shipment, and when you will be booking a vendor invoice, you can book with the estimated charges. How could you get the estimated charges? The most first. Few of my clients says that they have a quite extensive experience, okay, in importing the goods, and they know that bringing that back from China, it would cost me the unit price is $20, but the freight and the custom duty would be more $4. Okay, they have averaged it out with their experience. So what they will do once they will book the invoice, it will based on $24. Okay, so why they are booking this invoice on the base of estimated value? Why? Because what happens that sometime our third-party vendor invoices comes late after our product is shipped. Okay, so what happens that when the goods reach to Australian port, okay, there was a custom duty on that one. Okay, but it doesn't mean that custom duty will apply on the same day, and the invoice will be sent to our company on the next day. Meanwhile, what we do, the goods are released from the custom duty and we get it received in our warehouse and we want to consume it. Okay, so when we want to consume it, the one way is that we can consume it on the estimated cost on $24 instead of $20. Okay, those company which has a concept of markup and margin, okay, they can do it on the basis of 24s, not on the 20. Because if I'm selling, like say $20 was the unit price, and instead of doing on 24, I do on 20, then I will be just losing my profits. Okay, that's why it was estimated charges. So at least I could reach to a certain level. Okay, so this is what happened when we book the invoice. There are estimated charges comes on it. Okay, so at least our financial impacts get now. And what the other thing, what from the physical point of view, it's going, it takes your goods into good in transit. Okay, so what happens once you book the vendor invoice here, the good in transit functionality works. And now you can see that your basically your products are in good in transit. Okay, so I will come back to that one. So you can see that after that, hold on. Yeah, so there is a concept here when we book the invoicing, it's come into good in transit warehouse where we can see that basically certain inventories in good in transit. Before that, we were not able to, what we were doing, we are just putting those into some virtual warehouse. Okay, and the good thing with GIT, good in transit warehouse, is that it's all physically reserved. You cannot use it because basically now it has been moved from China to Melbourne port. Okay, but it is good in transit and we cannot use it. Okay, going back to my this charges. When we talk about the charges, there are different ways to apportion the cost onto your item. Okay, there are different ways, like on the basis of quantity, you can do that. I have 100 units, just assign $1 to every item. Okay, then we have a percentage. Let's put 5% duty on all the items. Okay, then we have amount. This is the 2,000 amount. Just allocate these amount to all the charges. So these are the different charges. This can be set up as per your requirement of your client. Okay, whatever they have. So I have different type of client which have multiple charges, and I have a client where they have only one charge as well. It's all depend on the business and how much detail they want to go inside it. Okay. The next is inbound tracking. This is the screen which is mostly used by supply chains people. Okay, what it is showing you for the every leg. You can see that the first leg is load. Okay, and load, I was expecting that the load will take 1 day. Okay, but in actual it doesn't take 1 day. Okay, so what it is basically giving you the variances against the estimated days and the actual days as well. Okay, the next leg is like sale. So what I was thinking that it will take 10 days to sail from China to Melbourne in this example. Okay, so what you can do, you can just put an estimated days or estimated dates gets calculated on the basis of the lead time which you have provided in the system. And what will happen? You can update the actual time and you can have the variances which can help you that what was the journey leg which take most of my time. Okay, so you can, because in your annual meeting, it usually asks that what was the main cost or what was the main journey which take time. Okay, so this is the tracking screen where you can just do on the basis of particular container shipment purchase order. Okay. The next is purchase order line. So this is the basically a purchase order screenshot. There, right now you can see that in the purchase order line details, there is a one more tab has been added, which is landed cost. Okay, on the right hand side, which will be showing you what wage has been created against this line. Okay, what status it has. Okay, or what container number or from which port it is coming. Okay. Then we have purchase order invoicing before good receipt. That the concept which I have already discussed with you, that I am invoicing first before a good receipt. Okay, so once I will be doing that, basically what is happening, it is moving into a good in transit. Okay, and after good in transit, what happens that I can you can see that the estimated charges would be there against your shipment. Okay, and then you will be having the actual landed cost invoice. So there is a difference between a vendor invoice and third-party vendor invoice. Third-party vendor invoice, what was that? He was your agent who was in China and he was working on behalf of you. Okay. Now the invoices get comes like a shipping carrier. So there would be a multiple invoices like shipping from the shipping carrier from the government of Australia who will be sending you the custom duty and all that stuff. So you will be booking that one. Let's say, just take an example. We estimate that it was $20 was the unit price. $4 was my landed charge, the estimated landed charges. Okay. But actually, when my invoice comes, it was of like $6, not for the $4. Now, what will system do? Okay. Now there are two. If you have not consumed that inventory, system will update the cost price of that to $6 more. Now the cost price is 26. Okay, which means that we are getting the actual cost. Okay. In case we have sold that inventory. Okay, because it might be possible that we have already sold the inventory. We cannot wait for the third party vendor. What system will do when you will run the next recal run, system will post the adjustment on that one for $2. Okay, it will help us to backtrack it and see that what was this $2 about. So these $2 was about that landed cost, which was. Okay. Then we have some reports. Okay. So we can see that we have some reports, which is basically quite useful for the finance people. They usually look after the report on the basis of their charges type, like how many freight charges I have expense out this year, how many duty charges I have expense out this year. Okay, so there are few reports where you can have on the basis of voyage as well. Voyage means shipment, so you can just identify that what is the highest value of my shipment, who has taken a more like a voyage charges, freight charges and the duty charges or any other additional charge. Okay, so this is the concept where, just to recall, conclude it, okay, because I will not be going into system. You create a purchase order, you create a shipment. After creating a shipment, what you will be doing, you will be creating a container as well. Because in a shipment, there might be multiple containers. Okay. After that, you will be booking an invoice, but that would be vendor invoice, not third-party vendor invoice. When you book a vendor invoice, what will happen? The goods will come into good in transit warehouse, which will be physically reserved. You cannot use it. Okay. But you're in the system, you will book an invoice on the basis of estimated charges. Okay. There is one more thing which I have to highlight here. It's based on your Incoterms as well. There is a concept that Incoterm, which is CIF. FOB, which means basically that when your risk and rewards are getting transferred. Some of my third-party vendors say that it's not our duty, okay, that we will be just taking the goods to the port and it will be your responsibility if it would be lost. Okay, so at that time you have to book the invoice. There might be some Incoterms who are taking the responsibility till our warehouse. So it's all different. But most probably, the vendor who is sitting in the China says that our responsibility is to give the goods to your third-party vendor, and that's all. So we need our money. Okay, so at that time, we have to book the invoice because as per the financials, we have to build our liability as well. Okay, in either case, we know that we have not received the goods, but we have to build our liability because at the year end, we have to show that this is certain amount which is currently in the liability for that. Okay, so once we book the invoice, after that, what we will doing, we will be once we will get the goods into our warehouse, we will be doing the product receipt. Once the product receipt is done, we can consume the inventory, and then what will happen after a few days, 2, 3, 4 days, the third party vendor invoice comes, which will calculate out what was our custom duty. That would be the actual charge, custom duty, freight charges, whatever. We will book the third party vendor invoice, and what will happen? The system will update the actual price if the inventory is. So this is the concept which was missing before. Okay, we cannot build an invoice first as comparison to product receipt, but now this concept has come, and literally what I've seen, 80% of clients are using this concept, this landed cost model, because everything in Australia is getting imported. Okay, so we have just what we have done, we have just closed down 3 of our production facilities here. Like Ford was created here before. Okay, Toyota was created as well, Camry. So we are importing most of it. So even in the future for the supply chain consultant who have not implemented that one, they will be having experience to implement it as well. Okay, so that's all. If anyone have any question, okay, so just let me know. Yep. Yes, it is there. You have to switch on for the feature management landed cost, and then this functionality would be coming. It is currently, it would not be in environment, the previous environment, but you have to switch on from the feature management. It's slowly, everyone is using. Yeah.
For example, you might send you an invoice either on weekly basis, but that shipment will cover, like say 10 or 20 different products.
Yes.
Coming to a different time.
Yeah.
So my question is how will be able to know that like which shipment linked to a specific product.
Good question. Okay, so this is the screen. I'm booking a third-party vendor invoice. Okay, so when I will be booking the third-party vendor invoice, you can see that I'm selecting a voyage on the right-hand side. So once I selected the voyage, there would be all items which is in particular voyage will be coming automatically inside it. Okay, so I created a shipment. Inside the shipment, there were products. Okay, so I'm booking this invoice on the basis of by tagging my shipment. Okay, so it should be charged to a particular shipment. It should not be charged to any other shipment. I can charge it to a multiple shipment as well if I want. There is a functionality there. It's right now it's not there is API which Microsoft is writing it, which will be basically third party vendor invoices will there would be integration soon coming. At this stage, it's not there. If you are implementing that, you have to do it yourself with your developer. It's not out of the box. Yeah. Any other question?
Transportation management.
Okay.
That has to be the.
Yes, but this is more for inbound. Transportation is more outbound. Okay, so there is a difference. Inbound, we are receiving. Outbound, we are just dispatching or something like that. Yeah.
For inbound, we can.
Yes. Yeah. Inbound and for the transportation, where we are just let's say if we are our goods are going from one place to another, so we just calculate the cost of that and what was the route cost and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Any other?
Questions on.
Oh,